Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 7 of the manufacturer series again. Let's get this started. Your first braking point is just before you reach the 100 meter mark. You'll be braking hard for a short moment, then slowly ease off of the brakes as you turn in. Try not to go past the inside curbs, as getting onto the grass will make the car a bit unstable. Then ease off the throttle for a short moment as you make this left turn, and start to brake just before the wall on the right ends. Gradually ease off of the brakes, then gradually start to apply the throttle. Bring yourself to the left side of the track and start to use a little bit of braking just after the red and white barriers on the left start. You just want to bring yourself all the way to the inside of the turn, all the way to the curbs, and then gradually start to accelerate. For this turn, start to brake just before the blue area on the left starts. You can make use of the red and white curves to bring your car a bit more to the left to set yourself up for this turn. Just get the car to rotate as quickly as possible and then carefully accelerate. Brake a little early for this turn, so you just want to use a little bit of braking. Just bring yourself close to the apex and carefully start to accelerate your way out. Don't get greedy with that apex because it will make your car want to lose control. Then just ease off the throttle for that turn that we just passed, and look for the second sign that is on the right, as you'll be using that as your braking point. You'll brake hard for a moment, quickly ease off of the brakes, and then just gradually accelerate your way out. Don't go past the red and white curves, otherwise you'll get an off-track penalty. But that is all for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at the strategies. For the qualifying session, you have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time. You just want to make sure that you give yourself and the car ahead of you plenty of space so you can stay within their slipstream without worrying too much about getting too close to them, which will result in you having to slow down and hurt your own qualifying times. Luckily, because this is a short track, we do have a couple of chances just to try to get that perfect qualifying time. So if you don't get the best qualifying time on your first flying lap, don't worry about it. You'll have at least 2 more chances to try to get that best time possible. And that's pretty much the gist of it. If you're trying to get the slipstream, once again, just make sure that you have plenty of space between yourself and the car ahead of you so you don't get too close to them. And you have 3 chances to try to get that good qualifying time. For this race, all 3 tire compounds need to be used. So you need to use the Racing Soft, medium, and hard tires to avoid getting the 1 minute penalty that gets applied after the race ends. So because of that, a 2-stop is required, but because of the whole pit stop sequence being a bit short, it is possible to do a 3-stop. So we'll talk about the 2-stop first. With the 2-stop, your Racing Soft and medium stints will last 10 to 11 laps, because your goal is to use racing hard tires for only 1 lap. The tires you want to start on depend on where you're starting. So if you're starting in the front, you can either start on racing soft or medium tires. If you're starting in the middle, you can think about starting on the racing medium tires. And if you're starting in the back, you can start on racing hard tires. If you start in the back, you want to get those worst tire compounds out of the way. That way you can eventually bring yourself to the racing soft tires for the end of the race. Feel will also be a bit of an issue, so you will need to do some short shifting. In this case, I try shifting when the bar on the bottom of the screen is around 75 to 80% full. The only thing is that, at least for this car, you don't really want to short shift when you're going up the hill, especially this hill right here that you see in the clip, as the car seems to struggle a bit if you short shift while going up the hill. So there's not too much to say about the 2-stop. Once again, for the racing medium and soft stints, you want to have them last 10 to 11 laps. And for one of those stints, it's obviously going to last a bit longer because, once again, you only want to use your racing hard tires for only 1 lap. So as you see here, we do have to refuel, and this is my last pit stop because I started on the racing soft tires, switched on over to the racing hard tires, and now going over to racing medium tires. So after refuel, I filled up the car with about 10 liters of fuel and I'm back out. So there's another way of going about this race, and it is to do a 3-stop. So with this one, you can do minimum 8 laps on racing soft tires, another 8 laps on racing soft tires again, 5 laps on racing medium tires, and then 1 lap on racing hard tires. If you want to stretch up the racing soft stint just a little bit more, you can do 9 laps on racing soft tires, another 9 laps on racing soft tires, then just 3 laps on racing medium tires and 1 lap on racing hard tires. And once again, you want to use the worst tire compound for only 1 lap. Because you are doing an additional pit stop, you do have a bit more flexibility to choose when you want to refuel, and that is if you need to refuel at all. However, because you are spending some more time at the pit stop, you will need to try to push a little bit harder just to try to make up the time that you lose at the pit stop. Otherwise, those on the 2-stop will end up passing you, and you won't have as much time to try to catch up to them and overtake them again. However, if you are constantly under the slipstream, that can increase your chances of you being able to make up that time loss when you're on the pit stop. So if you're thinking about the 3-stop, just make sure that you're constantly under someone's slipstream, just trying to go as fast as you can. So from this testing, the total times for the 2 and the 3-stop are pretty close, so it can be left up to you on which strategy that you want to go with. Just find one that suits your needs the best. And the same goes with the tire order. You can always switch things up around just to find something that will suit you the best as well. But other than that, this is a 2-stop race at the minimum. Maximum you want to go is 3 stops. And once again, feel free to try these strategies out in a test lobby before the actual race itself, just to get an idea of which one or which strategy and even the tire order will work for you the best. But that is all for me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you all a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.